Welcome to Khanversations. I'm Muqtedar Khan, your host. And in this short conversation, hopefully it is short, but I'll be showing you a lot of data. So do watch this show. Don't just listen to it, because I'll be showing you some charts. I'll be showing you some articles so you know what sources I'm citing to make this point. So in my last discussion, I mentioned casually that 90% of Indians were still poor. And so it is very important for India to make policies which protect Indians while dealing with tariffs and while dealing with Donald Trump, etc. But in the context, I did make this point that 90% of Indians were poor, and that apparently, while reading some of your comments, I discovered that a lot of you were surprised and upset by those figures. And so I wanted to share with you the data on the basis of which I made that claim. Now, this is especially difficult for a lot of people to swallow because in recent times there have been articles which suggest that India has lifted 415 million people out of poverty in the last 15 years. So there were lots of people in India, obviously, who were poor, but India lifted 415 million people out of poverty, basically in this century. And then there was this article published most recently on June 9th, 2025, which says that under the Modi government, 270 million people were pulled out of poverty. This is based on a World Bank report. So while such articles are being published, you are wondering why somebody like me would then go out and say that 90% of Indians are poor. So first thing first, let me just point out to you what the World Bank and these two articles that I showed you, what they mean when they say beyond poverty. In fact, the word that is often used is have lifted them out of multidimensional poverty. So what that means, and then after that, I will show you the data on the basis of which I have said that they may not be living in abject poverty, in absolute poverty, but they still live in poverty. 90% of Indians, and I will show you the data, most of it is very current. But before that, subscribe to the channel, like this video, press the bell icon, and don't forget to share this video with your socio-political network. So this is what the World Bank means when they say lifting people from abject or extreme poverty. If you are a lower middle income economy like India, which is per capita of $2,800, India falls in the lower middle income category. The benchmark is $4.2 per person per day. That is the benchmark for you to be in extreme poverty. So if you make less than $4.20 per day as a person, then you are in extreme poverty. So it says then India's poverty rate has dropped from 23.9% to 23.9% from 57.7%. So even they are saying that 25% of Indians are still in abject extreme poverty. The others are out of extreme poverty. So what does $4.2 per person per day? Let's take it as $5 per day. That makes it $150 per day. And so you have to make something like 12,500 rupees per month in order to be outside extreme poverty, or 10,000 rupees roughly. So still 25% Indians make little less than $10,000 per month. Sorry, 10,000 rupees per month, or $150 per month. So that is the state of poverty. Now, look at these two reports which have come out since then. One is the income and wealth inequality in India from 1922 to 2023. This report is called The Rise of the Billionaire Raj. It was produced by the World Inequality Lab. And then this report by Sabran, The Growing Divide, a deep dive into India's inequality crisis. This report was published on May 28, 2024. You can simply Google these things, income and inequality in India, and these reports will pop up. You can go and take a look at this. So I'm going to show you a page from, or the summary or executive summary from the Sabrang report by Pranav Jeevan. And you can see this is what he says. So this is what he's saying. Among the 92 crore adults, age 20 and above. Okay, so we are not looking at children at all or people who are below the age of 20. So there are 92 crore people or 920 million people in India who are above the age of 20. And the average annual income is rupees 2.3 lakhs. Now, the average can be very misleading. So, for example, if you have 10 people in your group, one person makes 100 lakhs and everybody else makes 1,000 rupees, still the average will go above 10 lakh rupees. So the average is a misleading figure, but nevertheless, the average in 2022-23 was 2.3 lakhs for all Indian adults. Let's assume it was 2.4 lakhs, which means 20,000 rupees per month. That was the average income for all adult Indians. Okay. But they are saying, however, the average is misleading as most Indians earn significantly less. For instance, someone earning rupees 24,000 per month earns more than 90% of the population. This is the basis on which I made the claim that 90% of the people are poor. If you make 24,000 or less than 24,000 per month, you are part of the 90%. So only 10% Indians make more than 24,000 rupees per month. Now you tell me, if that is not poor, then what is? That's even less than $300 a month. That's less than $2 a day. The median annual income in 22-23, we don't have data, survey data, etc. beyond that, meaning anyone earning more than rupees 8,700 per month, which is $350, they are in the bottom half of the population. And then they also look at income distribution. They say the top 10% in India, which is 9 crore people, which is about 9 crore people is a lot of people. They are more than Germany, bigger than Germany. It's like saying it is adding up, say, Spain and France. So 90 million people are the top 10%, average an annual income of rupees 13 lakhs. So only 9 crore people out of 145 crores make more than 1 lakh rupees. In fact, they make only 13 lakh rupees. So they're making a little more than 1,10,000 rupees per month. Then if you look at the top 1%, which would be 9 million people, which is 90 lakh people. So 90 lakh people earn over 53 lakhs per year, which means that only 90 lakh people make about $60,000 a year, and the top 0.1%. So we are looking at about 9 lakh people in India, 900,000 people in India, 9 lakh make over rupees 2 crores per year. At the pinnacle, which is 0.01%, which is about 10,000 people in India, they make 10 crores annually. So there are about 10,000 people in India who make 10 crores annually, and the top, which is 9,223 individuals, earn an astounding 50 crores. So it's a lot of money that is made, but all of it is at the top, not the bottom. The money is accumulating on the top. It is not flowing down. So let me give you some charts from the World Income and Inequality Report, from this report. And this is wealth inequality in India in the year 22-23. So there are 92 crores or 922 million people in India. They have 100% of the wealth. The bottom half own only 6.5% of that, and the top half earns about 93.6% of the wealth is in the top half. So you can see how poor the bottom half really is. It's astounding how poor the bottom half is. And if you look at the top 1%, they own 40% of the wealth. So the bottom 50% has only 6.4% of the entire wealth in India, and the top 1% has 40% of the total wealth in India. That is astounding inequality. Coming to the basis on which I said, that 90% of the people are poor, here is the income data. Look at it. So for 92 crore adults, the bottom 50%, which is 46 crores, their share is 15%. Their average income is 71,000 rupees per year. The bottom half of India averages 71,000 rupees per year. And if you look at the top 1%, they are 53 crores per year. That is the huge amount of money they make. So you're looking at a population where 90% of the Indian population makes less than 24,000 rupees per month. This is per person. Keep that in mind. So if it's a family of 4, yes, you might reach. The general income seems to be about 10,000, 8,500 rupees per month. So on an average, if you have 4 people, 5 people in the family, you're going to make about 40,000 rupees, whatever. So this is the basis on which I said 90% of Indian people are poor. Only 23% are in abject poverty, which means they are making less than 12,000 rupees per month. That is really very poor. And that is what has been lifted out when the World Bank says that 230 million people have come out of abject poverty, multidimensional poverty in the last 10, 12 years. That's what they mean, that they make more than $4.20 per day, which comes to actually less than 150. I just rounded it off to tell you. So that's the point I'm trying to make. It's not just a casual remark. It's data-based. You should go and check on it. This is an important part of policy making. If you notice that your economic policies, your structure of the economy is making just a few people very, very rich, and the rest of the population is very, very poor, then that is why you need to send free food to 80 crore people. You need to have programs like La Bharati and others where you're constantly sending free cash to poor women, trying to give free train rides, trying to give bus rides, things that are called as Rahul Ki Guarantee. All of this are because such a large segment of the Indian population is poor. Anyway, thank you for watching Khanversations. Please subscribe to the channel, like this video, and don't forget to share it with your socio-political network. Until next time, I'm your host, Muqtedar Khan. Take care.